Okay, now we can start. Okay, today I'm going to show you how to start growing the best tomatoes you've ever grown. It takes planning, it takes a little extra effort. First off, we're going to need a hole at least 18 inches deep, preferably 2 foot. This is not quite there. This is about 16, 18 right now. I'll have to get my post hole diggers later to deepen it. And the reason we want to do that, because tomato roots usually only, the main part will go down to about 1 foot. But they can go down to 2 foot. If you want really good tomatoes, you want to transplant them when they're about 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches tall. And knowing that, we need at least, your tomatoes are going to be in there 10 to 12 inches usually, because we're going to plant 2/3 of the plant. Now, on the bigger ones, you can dig a trench, but here in Oklahoma, it's going to get really hot about the end of June. That's when we start usually hitting 100-degree weather. And we need something for the roots down there to hold moisture. So what I usually do, I will start with some good old leaf compost mulch. Get it in the hole. As this breaks down, all the better. I've done got several earthworms out here. Now, I had tomatoes in this spot 2 years ago, and they did well. It's not unusual for me to get tomatoes growing 6, 8 foot or even more. I've had them when I lived in Texas. I had them almost 12 foot, and crazy. Didn't get much tomatoes off of them, but they grew crazy. So now I've got my leaf mulch. It can be hay, it can be straw, just something that's going to break down and hold some moisture in there. You can see most of this dirt. Like I said, this is tomatoes 2 years ago, and I got really close to where I had a tomato plant back then, and this is really rich dirt till you get down to the clay. Okay, now I have a hen. I have chickens. I don't know if you can hear them or see them, but I have a hen that's starting to roost in the nest, and she's been pooping in the nest, which normally I would get all irate and seal the nest off, but not this time. So this is green. We're gonna put a good amount of, well, we're gonna put it off. It's not that much. Again, this is January. By April, I'd like to mix it up a little bit. Now, I'm just going to put a little bit of topsoil, the better soil, over this to keep the pack down. We still got quite a ways, and this ain't the end of it, but that will get everything started to work. Now, my best fertilizer, the chicken manure is great. This is going to be nice and rich by the time I put a tomato plant in here by the end of, or by April 15th usually. I have started them earlier. Some years I have luck with that, other years frost gets me. So April 15th in our area is safe. So I've got a layer of leaf mulch. Like I say, it can be hay, it can be straw, whatever's good compost down there. Then I put a chicken litter over that. It can be cow manure, whatever you've got. It can be store-bought manure. Put that down there. Now we're up to about 12 inches. My next layer will come as soon as I thaw out my fish scraps. I've already started fishing. I've got a few scraps in another hole. I didn't show you that, but fish heads, guts, bones is great for this. So I've got my hole. Still got like 12 inches or so, maybe 14 inches to fill up. On top of that, I'll add a layer of fish. On top of that, I'll put some more of this good black topsoil that the chickens have been gracious enough to help me with over the years. And I will keep layering it. On top of that, the topsoil, I'll come back with a layer of mushroom compost, mix it with topsoil and bring it to the top, and I'll have about 46 inches at the top. By the time April 15th gets here, this will be one just big black rich soil ready for tomatoes. And even in the hot of summer, the hole being so deep with your either your hay or your leaf compost, whatever, it will still retain a lot of moisture. And last year I mean, we got temperatures of 105, 110. I never had to water my tomatoes once. So and these things will be huge. Now, to get the biggest tomatoes, you're going to want to be and I'll have a video later on, but you're going to want to be pruning them up. They don't look as good when done that way, but they produce huge tomatoes and more of them. So anyway, this is a start of how you start preparing to grow the best tomatoes you ever have. And like I said, this is January. This is a full 3.5 months until I plant tomatoes, and I have started as early as November. But typically I will have tomatoes right up to the first frost. Even if I don't plant a summer, quote unquote fall garden that you start in July, even I have these go all year long, and they're just, I mean, as far as the roots go, they get more into that nutrient rich soil, and they just keep putting them out, man, just because they're heavy feeders. Now, also from this layer on, I will start adding my crushed eggshells for my calcium. I didn't bring them out here with me, or I would have. So consider this part one, and as I get more materials, I'm going to show you how to do that. And so stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, click that bell icon so you'll get updated every time I post a video. So Donald here at the 1 Acre Homesteader. Don't forget to check out the blog. I'll try to have a write-up of that as well.